Jenny McCarthy Show. Oh!
He just sat down David Blaine, one of the greatest, if not the greatest. I'm not sure, David Blaine, if you like illusionist, magician, mystic, entertainer, or just gentleman.
Yeah, magician's good. Doesn't matter.
Magician. I've met you. You probably don't remember.
Yeah, of course. Many times.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm like,
come on.
I don't know if people
nobody
remember me.
forgets you. You
I
crazy?
feel like a nobody.
No, come on. In Florida, before that, we did magic. Yeah, the whole
I think there was a strip club sometime, and I really knew you were a magician then because the women were paying you. It was the opposite way around. So I'm like, he is very good.
That's funny.
So I'm excited about this tour, Spring and Summer Tour. You guys can get tickets where at davidblaine.com?
Yeah, davidblaine.com.
Where are we going to see on this tour?
It's a combination of new magic plus all the different things that I spent my entire life working on. So it is a show that's very demanding physically. It's got endurance in it. It's very death defying. I couldn't even get insurance to cover the last act of the show, and it is the most difficult endurance feat of my career. So being able to pull this off night after night is the challenge into itself.
That's what's crazy. It's because it's not just like it's a TV special. This is night after night.
Right, and it's not just where I'm working on one thing. It's all of the different things all together. So usually if I was going to go for a long breath hold, I would have a few weeks or a few months in between the next thing. But this is all of it in one evening.
Well, the breath hold was an interesting story when I was doing my homework on you. When you discovered you were kind of good at this by competing with your friends.
Yeah.
You got really good at holding your breath underwater and realized it took more effort to just go up and get some air than it did to just relax under the water.
Yeah, that's actually exact. Yeah.
And what is the time now? What is your time that you can stay under the water?
I mean, the longest I've ever done, but it was like 3 years of training, was 20 minutes and 2 seconds. Breathing pure O2 first. Now, just on a regular breathe up, I try to push around 10 minutes night after night. So, and every night I try to go further. So I try to increase each night. So I keep breaking my last record.
Now, you just said you couldn't get insurance, especially for that last act, which makes me so
specifically for that last act. Yeah. Can
I ask you a morbid question? Can you, I always try to predict my own death. I'm like, I'm 86. I'm hoping I just, I'm in bed and I just took one too many Ambien on accident and I'm in heaven. Do you actually have any idea or vision of if I were going to eat it, it'd probably be blank? Is it during a trick?
I think just because of the high risk factor, it's either one of those things or riding a motorcycle. So those are the two most dangerous elements of my life. So
I haven't seen you ride yet, but I'm going to go with the motorcycle because you're a pretty good magician.
No, it doesn't have to do with being good. It's just when you push your body over and over past the breaking point, eventually, Houdini was my favorite magician, but eventually he pushed himself too far, and after his last stage show collapsed, was rushed to the hospital where he died.
I mean, that is so fucking sad when I read about his history, too, of what an entertainer. Did you see The Greatest Showman, by the way?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, you got to see it.
Okay, I will see it.
I mean, it's so something that you would absolutely love because it's so about, wanting to bring joy to an audience, but with mysticism and freaks and just...
Is it about P.T. Barnum?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's incredible. He's one of my favorites. Yeah, he's amazing.
My God. But it's such a good fucking
I like
movie.
musicals. No, I like musicals.
Okay, good.
I'm actually really, I have a daughter that's 7, so I'm, watching, all the Sound of Music, Mary Poppins, Grease, Annie, West Side Story. No. Yeah. So I'll watch it.
You got to watch it with her. She'll absolutely love it. Let me ask you, I talk to comedians all the time that come on here about parallel thinking and how comedians steal jokes. How do you protect your own illusions?
You can't really, because as soon as you try to put a copyright on it, means you have to put all the methodology down, and then anybody can read. So it's it's almost very difficult to protect an idea, but you just keep reinventing and keep working on things. And what I like is most of the things I do, the method is almost just as interesting as what you're seeing. So it's the work that goes into it might be more interesting, like the research and development of the breath hold is probably just as entertaining as the actual breath hold.
Oh, that's cool. Now, David Copperfield sadly is going through a court hearing right now where
I know
someone
he's so meticulous. He has so many different methods for everything. So there, he's really, there might be 10 different methods for every trick that he works on. So.
Is it scary though to think that someone might have to expose what he's doing?
Like I said with him, because I've been backstage and at his show, and it's just like you can't. It's just there's so many different methods to everything.
Right. And do you guys, when you get to the top of your game, like where you are now, do you share each other's secrets? Like, does David go, hey, come on back and take a look and let me show you?
One of
how
my
to do
favorite Copperfield stories is I went to go see him after a show at the MGM in Vegas, and he was with his buddy and magician collaborator Chris Kenner, and it was it was now 1 a.m. and they're done for the night, and Chris Kenner just looked really wiped out. And I said to I was like, wow, you guys had a long day. And Chris is like, yeah, we've been here since 10 a.m. And now we're gonna go see a movie. And I was like, yeah, you're not tired, David? He's like, no, I'm good. And Chris is like, you know how many shows we did today? I was like, how many? He said 3 shows. I said, wow, 3 shows. And he said, do you know how many shows that we did this year? And so I'm thinking, the norm is 270, 5 days a week, weekends. Right. I said, I don't know, like 270? He goes, no. I go, 300? No. 400? No. 500? No. 600? Nope. 655 shows. And I was like, David, how much money do you need to make? And here's what he said. Here's what he said that was amazing to me. He said, and he was straight up. He said, I'm not doing this. It's not about that, obviously. He said, I put a new trick in last year and I'm trying to get it right. So it usually takes about 500 performances before it starts to become the trick that he wants it to be.
You're kidding.
Yeah, and that's what all the great comedians like Seinfeld and, Chappelle and Rock and all those guys, they all they just go little venues, place after place, and work really hard and develop and create and fail and build and build and build until it starts to feel right.
Oh my God, that's such a fucking cool story, and it makes so much sense to me.
Yeah, it's just about the repetition, the practice, the failure, the work, et cetera, et cetera.
Talking to David Blaine, he's got a spring and summer tour that's going to be off the hook. DavidBlaine.com is where you guys can get the information. What do you do, David, when a trick doesn't work?
Well, that's a good thing about magic is nobody knows what the ending is. So if it doesn't work, you just keep going until you get it to work.
You just slide into another thing?
Yeah, you just keep going until something comes out of it that you like.
I mean, it must be nice because, you go inside, especially like Hollywood parties. Let's just put a title on it like that. But there's rock stars, there's actors, but when magicians like yourself walk in the room, everyone like lights up. It's kind of fun. There's like
it is cool that magic is something you can do anywhere, anytime, and it even doesn't need language. There's no barriers. So yeah, it is a fun art form, and that it's not like you suddenly have to bust out into a song or a monologue, but you pull a deck of cards out and it just keeps going.
And does it ever get tiring where you're like, listen, I'm at the airport. I just want to sit down and have a fucking hot dog while I wait for my plane. You don't want me to pull out a card?
Nah, because I'm always looking at it as practice. So it's like I'm always happy to do it. The only time I'm not happy is if I'm late and I have to say no and I feel bad. But no, I love doing it. That's why street magic is kind of like, it was an easy show for me because it was what I was doing all the time.
Street magic. It's so cool. Watching people go like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
just average people that never saw shit before. What does your daughter say? I mean, does she make you do magic all the time?
She actually does magic, and she's amazing at it. And she loves magic. So it's pretty fun to watch her react to things and her intrigue and her curiosity, which is never ending. But also, she can do stuff that blows me away. I start crying when she does things.
No,
yeah,
really?
All the time. Yeah, of course.
Oh my God, that's so sweet. And are these tricks that you taught her, or did she teach herself?
That's the thing, is when she was little, I would hold her in my arms while I'd be doing magic all over the place, because she'd be with me and she always liked to be carried. So I'd be holding her doing magic, and she just absorbs. So she was just suddenly able to do it without me teaching her anything, which is incredible and mind-blowing.
how many quarters have come out of her ears?
No. She does advanced stuff. Like it's super.
Really?
Yeah. If I was to show you footage of her, it's pretty crazy.
Oh my God! So she's gonna follow in your footsteps, I would imagine.
I hope not.
Really? Why?
Because I don't want her to follow in the footsteps and start, swallowing frogs and standing on pillars and doing things that are dangerous to her body. Yeah. So I encourage her to become a gymnast or a teacher or all the things she loves doing, and she's great at all of them.
There's some safe magic out there, but I can see where people want to take things to the edge, and I would be concerned too. But there's not that many female magicians at all, is there?
That's true. That is true, and I think it has to do with the old concept of female magicians a few hundred years back were considered witches.
You're right.
Yeah, so I think that like stigma. I think it's sort of
so she can change the game, David. You got to just teach her and hone her trick to be not dangerous.
Well, she's very good. That I could say. She's mind blowing. Like if she does magic in a room full of people, I'm done because I can't do anything to top it. They all go crazy.
I mean, would you ever use her in your shows?
Yeah. No. When I'm on tour, she gets up on stage, and when she's in town, and she'll do, she's in school in France, but when she's on tour with me, she gets up and kills the room.
I cannot wait to see your tour. I'm going to check it out myself. David Blaine, Spring and Summer Tour. You guys check it out. His website. Get tickets, davidblaine.com. Thank you so much. Great to see you.
Thank you. Thanks.
And watch that movie. You'll be so happy
you should come see the show, by the way.
I'm definitely going to.
Yeah, it's the best thing I've ever worked on by far.
I'm so excited to bring my son. Done.
Yeah, so let me know.
Okay, cool.
Okay, good to see you.
You too. Thank you so much.
Jenny McCarthy Show. Oh!